gorgeous. So Roman, thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy speaking schedule around Louisiana to meet us here in Alexandria at Hotel Bentley. I thought this would be a great location. It's pretty, it's historic, and yeah.
Thank you so much for hosting me. Yes, I agree. This is a beautiful building. I already took some pictures of it.
Well, I thought we'd do our interview in the conference room.
That would be great.
Quieter.
Oh,
Kind of
those
quiet.
beautiful drapes.
Isn't that
Yes,
gorgeous?
wonderful.
Roman, you came of age in Louisiana. You played LSU basketball in the early 90s for Coach Dale Brown. You graduated from LSU. You're a Southern boy and Ukrainian native, which gives you a very unique perspective on things. You're here in Louisiana right now. Why?
So let me also qualify my answer, because my first 17 years of my life I spent in the Soviet Union. So even though when I defected from the Soviet Union, I was from Ukraine, but at the time it was not a free Ukraine. It was still one of those republics of the Soviet Union. And the reason I defected back in 1991 is because I did not want to live under an oppressive regime. I wanted to have a freedom of choice. Where do I go? It so happened that Coach Brown saw some talent in me, and he used the scholarship that he had available to him when Shaquille O'Neal decided to leave earlier for the draft in 1992. He offered it to me.
Wants to shoot. Feeds Rubchenko, who puts it up good. Rubchenko banks it in on the assist.
And so I'm not a typical Ukrainian. I would say I'm a Ukrainian American or Ukrainian Southern American, something like that. So in 2008, I decided to move back to Ukraine, and I've been living there since then. And so I witnessed firsthand whatever started happening when Putin came to power and in 2008 invaded Georgia. This was the first harbinger of what's to come. The United States at the time did not take a strong stance. And then people like Putin, you should understand, they're just probing you. It's like a bully on the playground, you know. First they're gonna pull your hair, then they're gonna throw a rock at you, then they're gonna punch you in the knee.
The PBS documentary, 20 Days in Mariupol, is very difficult to watch. It's very graphic and very bleak and troubling, but also it shakes people. And help us understand what we saw. How widespread is that? Is that an isolated small area of Ukraine, or is that experience widespread?
My heart breaks when I watch footage like that. And was it widespread? Yes, I think it was widespread. Anywhere where a Russian soldier's foot stood on the Ukrainian soil, atrocities like that happened. I mean, our weapon supplies were drying up gradually, and it wasn't affecting us up until recently. But if you know, maybe last 2 weeks or 3 weeks, we had to remove our troops from Avdiivka. We held Avdiivka since the beginning of the invasion back in 2014. What I'm hearing, the reason this was done is to protect our soldiers, because we did not have the ample ammunition, we did not have enough shells to keep defending the position. It would result in a lot of casualties. So we are either going to be losing people or losing territories unless we get support immediately.
Right now in Congress, they're debating a foreign aid package. The Senate approved a foreign aid package, which had some $60 billion, I believe, for Ukraine. The House has not voted on it. House Speaker Mike Johnson is asking for them to go back to the drawing board, which further delays the approval of aid to Ukraine. What do you want to see happen? What is your message to Congress?
Every day that we delay this, approving this aid, more people die, more soldiers die. And then the thing is, besides that, that Ukrainian resolve that I'm talking about, that is based on faith in the eventual victory. And the victory does not mean that we're going to invade Russia and go all the way to Moscow and overthrow Putin. Victory for us is to inflict enough pain for Russia in order for this war to become unsustainable for them. And that means getting some longer range missiles, ATACMS. That includes getting some airplanes, which we've been talking for a few years already. And that includes getting the anti-aircraft systems and the missiles for them, and also the ammunition for howitzers. Those are the key things that we would need to get. And this aid package that is stuck in Congress is supposed to pay for the very thing that I'm talking about. The future looks bleak. Without United States support, without the weapons that they're supplying us with, we cannot last much longer.
So Roman, you live in Ukraine.
Yes, I
and
do.
you were able to freely travel to Louisiana. How is that possible?
Well, by law, right now we have martial law in the country, so males 18 to 60 are not allowed to leave the country. Now I came with the signature from Ministry of International Affairs allowing me to go to Ukraine and participate in this advocacy campaign here in Louisiana.
I have to ask on a personal level, are you fearful that you're going to be targeted by Putin for coming to the States?
Well, you always are fearful, but I mean, look, what about those soldiers who are sitting in the trenches, right? I mean, I'm not nearly experiencing the level of risk that they are. I mean, and unfortunately, I'm not a soldier.
How much longer can Ukraine hold on without U.S. assistance?
Well, they're not holding on already. So the U.S. assistance was supposed to be decided, or we were hoping it would be decided last November. And so when you say how long will it last, it's basically like somebody cut our veins, and we're not going to die right away, but we're on the path of dying. The only question is how fast, right?